Hey there. So in my first video, I mentioned how my writing teacher is anti-outline, and I feel like I did kind of exaggerate a bit on that, because not that he's anti-outline in a way that you cannot write an outline whatsoever. It's more like he just doesn't want us to write with an outline. He wants us to just go with the flow, see where the story takes us. I have to admit, it's actually a really useful writing tool. Like, I get having an outline, and it's definitely important for a lot of story structures, especially if you're planning on writing like a big book or something. But when you're just like working on a scene or a short story or something, it's kind of useful to just not know where it's going, which sounds weird, but I've been really trying to do that with the stories I've been writing for him and just like in general, the stories that I'm trying to write, because I find that not knowing where it's going does take you into some interesting places. Originally, the tavern actually was going to end back in the tavern, and there's going to be like a questioning thing going on, like, did you do it? Did you do it? Very accusatory stuff. But that's not really where it went as I was writing, and I actually liked where it went when I was writing. I mean, obviously, the final draft wasn't the first draft, it went through some stuff, but the main idea stayed the same, and I kind of like that. Well, not even kind of, I like that way a lot better. The other way was just not as good, and it was just kind of there because I needed an ending, I feel like. And so I kind of think of that. I feel like the most important part when using an outline is to think of it more as guidelines than rules. Just because you wrote out this, and this should happen doesn't mean this and this and this must happen. You need to let it flow out the way it needs to go. You can't go, this is how it needs to be done, I need to write it like this. You gotta be able to adapt to how the story wants to be told. And that's something I've kind of figured out with this writing class a lot, because everyone always told me, like, you need an outline, and I've been focusing a lot on outlines. And my teacher actually said something that I think is really true. When you have like an outline, it makes it less fun to write. And it really does. Like, obviously, you still need an outline for a lot of work. And I know a lot of the work I have, I still outline. But being willing to let go of the outline is what keeps it fun. So I guess that's kind of the advice I'm giving. I don't know. What I really like doing is writing scenes for stories I know I won't write for a really long time. Like stories that don't really have a plot yet. They have like the setting and like the characters, like the general idea and feel of it. There's no real plot. And I kind of have like a lot of fun with that because I can build the plot like off those scenes. Like I don't know if those scenes will ever actually show up in the books that I might write in the future or anything like that, but I get a feel of what I want to happen as I write the scene. Like I was writing this one scene for a story that's years away from being written, if it's ever written. And it really developed the bond between these two specific characters that like I knew was there, but I didn't know how they felt about the, if that makes sense, like how they felt about each other, I guess, but not even really that, just how they kind of like show how they feel about each other. And that will affect how they interact in the plot, I'm pretty sure. I got a better idea of how these two interact and how they interact with other people. I mean, there's only like 3 people in the story, so I guess with this one other person, how they interact. But that's kind of just how the scene went, and I didn't know where the scene was really going, so that was just something to add on to the story, and I really like that. I guess what I'm trying to say is, yes, outlines are necessary for most, if not all, stories, but they aren't as important as we make them out to be. You need to be willing to bend or break the outline that you started with, because that might not be where the story needs to go. And maybe everyone already knew this and I just need to be taught it. But it's just, from my experience, everyone's always outline, outline, outline. And my teacher was like, why outline? And it's kind of like, yeah, why outline? And I'm doing pretty well using outlines little to none so far. And when I get to bigger projects, I'll obviously need to still use them. But until then, I'm having fun figuring out where my stories go as I write them. So I guess until next time then, I will see you later.